Our first guest this hour, just off his very exciting opening day keynote here at CES, is from an American car company that innovates without using our tax dollars. And we are very proud of him for that and his team. The president and CEO of Ford Motor Company is Alan Mulally. Alan, welcome into tomorrow. How are you, sir?
Thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
We're glad to have you. I mean, not only did you impress everybody with your keynote this morning, and of course did a terrific job speaking here at CES, but again, it begs the question, a car company CEO at the Consumer Electronics Show. Of course, Ford Sync and all the innovation you guys are doing, but the connection is awesome.
Well, I think you hit the operative word, Dave, and that was connection. And the neatest thing, this is the second time that we've been invited to be the keynote speaker, is because we are leading the world in connectivity. And today we announced, as you pointed out, that we are now bringing the internet to the automobile.
Yes.
And also the coolest thing that just was so rewarding was that people appreciate so much that Ford, that knows how to make the best vehicles in the world now, is going to give us access to all of the applications that we have with our cell phone, give us access to the internet, but provide it with a user interface that allows us to keep our hands on the wheel, our eyes on the road, but be seamlessly connected to all of our infotainment.
And it is amazing because we all have such content these days and from so many sources that leave it up to Ford to say, you know what, we got you covered. You know, you've got to get from point A to point B, whether it's a commuter, you're running the store, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
You have choices,
Absolutely.
And you're delivering them.
We want to be the preferred car app.
Ah, very good. The car app. It's all about Ford. Well, first of all, do you consider yourselves, Alan, a technology company or a car company or a lot of both?
Well, I think we're a lot of both, and we've always been a technology company. When you look at what we, the consumers, really want and really value in a car, we want the highest quality. We also want the most fuel-efficient vehicles in the world, no matter what the size, small, medium, or large, a car, utility truck. We really care about fuel efficiency. We also want the cars to be the safest, use the latest technology to make sure they're the safest cars in the world. And, of course, in Ford's case, what we're celebrating here at the Consumer Electronics Show is we also want smart technology. We want it to be relevant. We want to be able to use our phone. We want to be able to get connected to the internet. We want to be able to get directions to navigate, have our music. And so the neat thing is that Ford is operating on all four of those customer desires by bringing the very best technology in the world to bear so that we can absolutely serve with the best cars and trucks.
Well, and you're doing it. And as I said in your introduction, the ability for Ford to be innovating without tax dollars, that doesn't hit most of us Americans lightly. That's amazing to me, especially with everybody else just grabbing all they can get, and who knows whether we'll ever see it again. The point is, Ford's up there saying, hey, we're doing this on our own, and we're making this happen.
No,
and you continue to do very cool new things. I mean, Ford Sync alone has come a long way since you started Sync, and look what we're doing now in vehicles. It truly blows me away.
I really appreciate your comments on that because it's been an historic year. You just think about it. 1 year ago, I was back in Congress testifying.
Yep.
And that was a very, very big decision for Ford and for me because we were actually testifying in support of our competitors. Because at the time, GM and Chrysler were clearly going into bankruptcy.
Yeah.
If they would have failed, with it being in a recession, they could have taken the auto industry down, the suppliers down. They could have taken the U.S. from a recession into a depression. So we were there testifying in support of our customers for temporary help from the U.S. government for the good of the auto industry, but also good of the U.S. economy. But on the other side of that, we had developed a very solid business plan. We'd gone to the markets 2 years earlier. We had a great plan to transform our Ford to compete with the best in the world. And we actually accelerated, Dave, the development of all the new products, including all the electronics and the Sync and the MyFord that we shared today. We actually accelerated the development so that now we probably have, most third-party people believe, the finest car and truck lineup in the world. And now we'll be there for the consumers as we come back out of this recession. And now, we're just absolutely thrilled to be part of the solution and never to be a problem. And we're so pleased to not have to take any of our precious taxpayer money.
Well, again, on behalf of a grateful nation, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's very appropriate. But because of the work you guys are doing, you convince people like my son, our technical director here, who said that's it, his next vehicle is a Ford F-150, and he's been a GM guy
Your
forever.
son is really smart.
Well, don't let it get carried away, because he'll take that to the bank now.
Dave, 34 years. The F-150, the number one vehicle, car or truck in the United States. This is the finest vehicle in the world. So your son has tremendous knowledge and taste. And I can't wait to see him driving around his new F-150 with the work solution in there, being connected to the internet.
Yes.
He is going to be hot.
With, of course, the Into Tomorrow logo on the doors. We got to make sure that happens as well.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit about this whole My Touch and the whole My Ford Touch, because this is some cool stuff you talked about in your keynote that's got a lot of people saying, that's it, my next car is a Ford. That's it. Yep. I got to have this technology in my vehicle.
Well, Dave, this is really neat. And it really starts with a focus on where the market's going and where the customers are going. And we've watched computing power develop from the big mainframes to the desktop computing to the mobile PCs, and now the computing is moving to the mobile phones. So now all of our interface with the internet, with information, with music, is all going to be led by the phones, the smartphones. So what we decided was the best thing we could do is to give everybody in a driving experience access to all of this technology, but do what we do best, and that is help them keep their hands on the wheel, their eyes on the road, be a great driver, but then give them all the consumer electronics interfaces so they could get access to all this information, and then watch all of that innovation keep going, but they get a great vehicle and a great experience being in the Ford vehicle to access it. So it was very exciting to present that. And
for sure.
You heard the response was just phenomenal.
And rightly so, because you're at a tech convention, of course, you're talking technology. And what I think is so cool is that not only one of the things you mentioned in your keynote about a shift in U.S. consumer attitude about higher fuel economy, but not everyone wants a hybrid.
Absolutely.
And it's refreshing to hear a car company say that, because others are saying, well, there's our solution. Have a nice day.
Well, Dave, that's a really important comment, because what we decided 3 years ago when I came to Ford was that we were going to have a complete family of vehicles, small, medium, and large, cars, utilities, and trucks. And we also decided, Dave, that every vehicle that we produce would be best in class in quality, fuel efficiency, safety, and smart technology, and the very best value so we could all afford it. So that's why you're seeing every vehicle that comes out now being recognized as being best in class.
Gotta love it. You got to promise me we can get you back on the show. There's so much more to talk about.
I would love to. We got to talk to your son about that F-150. We got a lot of things to do together.
Exactly.
Maybe Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah, see, there are plans. We got to get them over to the house. And, of course, the Ford Taurus. I know, especially near
International Car of the Year.
Well,
the Ford Fusion Car of the Year.
I'm loving it. My Ford Touch. Got to look into that. And, of course, Ford.com. Very easy website to get there. We'll link you, of course, to it with all of our guests. Alan Mulally, President and CEO of Ford Motor Company. Thank you again very much for joining us and for offering us some great insight into technology.
Thank you. This is a phenomenal story. You know, we're fighting for the soul of manufacturing in the United States. This is an American and a global icon that is leading the way on design and manufacturing, and I was very just pleased to be here with you.
Dynamite. Thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot.
Glad to have you with us. We're back with more from Las Vegas. Dave Graveline bringing you Into Tomorrow right here on the Advanced Media Network.